Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of Slice and Dice eCom. I'm Yulia, and I'm joined by.
Josh, founder of ClickSlice.
I wanted to say nice to meet you, but then I realized that's not part of it.
Yeah,
We've known each other for so long. But
we've
nice
met
to
a few
have you
times.
again on my
Oh, your
podcast.
podcast. Okay, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so glad I followed your dress sense today. I
Thank you.
went for the white t-shirt.
Yeah. So you saw it in the email.
Yeah, the email that I never received. But yeah, we just fluked it.
Yeah. Okay, so today's episode is going to be a bit different than the others. The goal is to answer some of the questions that you guys left in the comments or DM'd us. You guys, you?
Yeah, you guys being basically Josh coming up with ideas and questions. But yeah, that's me.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. What are the 5 biggest SEO mistakes you see ecom brands making?
I would say the biggest mistake starts at the strategy phase of a campaign. So, not doing enough research in the planning part of an SEO strategy. So, what I mean by that is if you own an ecom brand, maybe a Shopify brand selling kayaks, right? You maybe have normal kayaks, inflatable kayaks, different colors of kayaks, and so on and so on. And what brands will do is they'll just say, yeah, let's just target all these on the same page because they're all relevant. And whilst they are all relevant to the brand, they're not all relevant in terms of search intent. So a good example is if you search for inflatable kayaks and best inflatable kayaks, typically what you're going to see is for the best term, lots of like affiliate type of content. Sites reviewing the best, linking out to Amazon, all the brands out there. If you take off the word best or top rated, you'll get more e-commerce stores ranking.
Yeah.
So if you try and target best inflatable kayaks and inflatable kayaks, just in this one instance, on the same page, it is pretty much near impossible to rank because Google sees them as two different search intents, which means you need two different pages for them.
Yeah, otherwise you end up confusing Google more. And also, it's super important since we're on this, not adding, because you were just talking about Google understanding what your page is about. How do you do that when you only have your products listed and that's it? So not adding content. That's one of the other mistakes I see ecom brands doing a lot. So 90% of our clients, I think, didn't have even one sentence on that page. So then in return, how do you expect Google to understand what your page is about? So what we come in and do is we make sure we write optimized content that speaks to the users, but also to Google, and we add it on that page. And we don't just throw a block of text there because we wouldn't recommend that. Don't do that.
Definitely not great for user
Yeah.
experience. No.
What we would recommend is for you to add it below the product and in a way, style it in a way that it's easy to read, split it into paragraphs. If you can style it nice, design wise, that's also a plus. But yeah, not adding content to your category pages is a massive mistake that a lot of ecom brands do.
Yeah, and I think me being like on the sales side of the agency, when I get a call, get booked, and I jump on the call with the client or prospect, because I'm not a client at that point in the process, and I see like they have all these backlinks, they have all these blogs, all this authority, all this irrelevancy, but like they're not doing SEO properly. That there's no content on the category pages, and they're ranking on page 2. That's mind-boggling to me because we know we can come in, tweak some things, pull some levers, add some content, increase the relevancy, boom, and they're ranking literally at the top of page 1, literally in 2 weeks of doing the campaign. So they're my favorite type of campaigns. And when we do a lot of calls, sometimes we'll figure out if a client already has content on there and it's done well, we have to look elsewhere. How can we generate more impactful results from the campaign? But yeah, they're my favorite type of campaigns for sure. I would say like another mistake ecom brands make, so this is the third thing, is kind of related to the first one, not doing enough research. So let's use an example of an ecom brand selling men's shirts, right? They'll say, hey, I sell men's shirts. I've got black, red, green, and like, here's my main page for men's shirts. And like, that's it, right? You couldn't just have one main category. You want to build out as many subcategories as possible. Literally, even if you're showing the same products, it doesn't matter. Build out as many subcategories because people search differently for the same thing. So an example we could use here is you'd have one category page for men's shirts. Then you have one maybe for blue men's shirts, green men's shirts, brown, like every color you see search volume for, build out categories. And, that's as a minimum. And most agencies will go to that level for you. But then they'll just say, yeah, we've done. No, there's more. What about different materials like cotton shirts, velvet shirts? What about black velvet shirts, green velvet? Like there's so many subcategories you can build out. And again, even if you're showing the same product on maybe the black shirts that you show on the black cotton shirts or the black silk shirts, it doesn't really matter. You just want to have a page to give Google a chance to understand you're actually relevant to these subcategories as well. So when someone searches for those terms, I'm going to return your website. I'm going to give you more organic traffic. and I'm going to increase your organic revenue. So building out enough subcategories is so important, and too many brands just don't do it.
I think to put it in simpler terms, look at your filters on your category
Yeah,
pages, and those are all your subcategories. And some of our
100%.
clients have so many filters, and they don't even realize that those filters are actually other opportunities to create new pages, because users do search with those filters in mind. And if you only have it as filters, they're not necessarily going to end up on your website because someone else has a page for that filter.
Yeah, and a lot of brands we speak to as well have these filters, but they're set to no index. So
Yeah, that's
you can't actually even find the page organically. So as Julia said, a really good way of breaking it down, build out a subcategory page for every single filter you have, because that's how users search, right? So again, have a page, rank organically, and make more money.
Yeah, exactly. And the fourth thing I see, and it's touching to, we have a podcast on this, it's that big. It's about blogs and not leveraging blogs enough. And I know a lot of people think that blogs are there just for SEO, but it's not. You can filter that informational traffic to your product pages. It's by just adding CTAs, adding related product carousels. So let's say if you're selling inflatable kayaks, don't add a carousel for your inflatable paddle boards. It's not the same thing. But if you do leverage your blogs, definitely you can filter that traffic to your category pages. So that's super important. And it's a mistake that I see a lot of e-com brands do.
Like
Their
95%,
blogs,
like
yeah,
95% of brands, right?
it's just a block of text and that's it. Even images, add visuals, just make them engaging, that they can engage with your blog and basically browse your entire website. I remember, super off topic, I was trying to visit Tokyo, and there's a website that talks about Tokyo a lot. So I ended up clicking on so many CTAs and internal links, and I browsed for 1.5 hours. And now I saved it, and I'm going to use that website when I'm actually going to go to Tokyo.
Yeah. So
it's
guys,
super
you heard that first. Julia browses for an hour and a half on one website. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it's definitely a mistake I see a lot of brands make. And I think the fifth and final one, what I would say, is not building enough high quality backlinks.
Yeah.
Emphasis on high quality.
Yeah.
I think the problem with link building is probably one of the most challenging parts of SEO. And if you don't really know SEO, you're not too technical, one backlink on site A may look the equivalent as a backlink on site B. But what you don't realize is how much users is site A actually getting in comparison to site B. So when we're building links for clients, right, we have obviously our criteria we stick to, to make sure we get the best links for our clients. And to give you guys more context and insight into that, you only want to be acquiring backlinks from sites that are relevant to your site. So if you have a site about kayaks, try and get a link from a kayak blog. That's not always going to be possible because there's obviously limited kayak blogs out there, but at least make sure the page linking to you is 100% relevant to what you're selling. The second is the site needs to be high authority. It's kind of like I'm giving you like an itemized list inside of number 5.
Which
like
I know,
there's lots of different things you need to bear in mind, but like make sure the site's high in authority. I won't go through every part of our process, but you also want to make sure it's a natural and organic link as well. You don't want to be getting links on these shady websites that aren't going to help your SEO. And I say it all the time to clients, like you're better off having 5 high quality links than 5,000 low quality links. And it's not about quantity. Like all things in life, is quality over quantity.
Yeah. So just to summarize, 1, not doing enough research, do research. 2, not adding content on your category pages. Please add content. Google and both Google and users need to understand what your page is about. Not building out enough subcategories. Look at your filters and you'll see all of the subcategory opportunities you have there. Leveraging blogs. Their blogs are a cross-sell opportunity, 100%. And last but not least, quality backlinks. You need quality backlinks.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Nice summary, right?
Yeah, I like that. So another question our audience, aka me, submitted last night is, what are the most common misconceptions about SEO that we encounter on a daily basis?
That it takes 1 year to kick in. It's not true.
God, I know. You know what? I hate when agencies say that.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm an agency owner, so I totally get why they do it. Most of them doing it to tie you into a long 12-month contract.
Yeah.
And most of them pretty much can't get you results. So they tell 12 months, so you pay them 12 months. And it's quite flawed because it's kind of like a generic bit of information, like 12 months. And that is it. But everyone seems to be running with it.
That's weird though, because all of our clients that I've heard, even when we say 6 to 9 months, they seem quite like they're rushed. So I think it depends. I think everyone is rushed nowadays. So saying that it kicks in 12 months, that's why it's put a bad spot on SEO because of this misconception. And because everyone wants to see results faster, I just want to clear this misconception away. And it doesn't take 12 months. We do say 6 to 9 months, but we've had clients where in 3 months it just jumped, rocketed,
Blew off,
skyrocketed, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think
but
it's
I don't
very.
want to promise.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not,
no, cool.
no,
I think
no
it's very,
promises.
very variable dependent, right? Like I said, domain age, keyword difficulty, what
Yeah.
type of SEO you're doing, the SEO history of the website. Is it brand new domain with
Yeah.
no SEO? Like lots of stuff come into play, and I think the way you can ensure an agency is doing all they can to get the results as quickly as possible is don't sign up for a long-term contract.
Yeah.
Because there's no incentive for an agency to go and get results in the first 1 month, 2 months if they've got you already signed up for 12 months. So I think that's the reason why we actually don't have contracts. We roll a rolling 30-day contract, I guess. It's a contract, but it's not long-term. Because it puts the pressure on us, and
Yeah.
we like it. It's more risky. We're confident in what we do. So
Exactly. We're confident in what
we
we do.
literally go above and beyond every month to try to get results as quickly as possible. And again, if we're not getting your results, it's pretty much a scam, a robbery, right? Like you're paying for a service and you're not getting any results from it. Like, why are you doing that? It's not a good use of ROI of your money, is it?
Yeah, it is. And nice point. Actually, it ties really well with the last questions on what should brand owners look out for when hiring an SEO agency, apart from our website, clickslice.co.uk.
So I would say the number one thing to look out for is obviously case studies, right? Like, and it's not just case studies. Like, read the case studies and see what they're saying. Look at the ROI they're generating, the increase in clicks, the increase in revenue. Most importantly, is there client testimonials? And what I would say, probably the most important part to check about case studies is how recent are the case studies? Because SEO changes a lot every single month, right? There's like 200 changes they're making an algorithm a year. It's actually insane. It's getting more and more now with AI coming out. But essentially, if you're seeing an agency that has like 20 case studies and they're all for like 2013, 2014,
That's not relevant.
that's not relevant. Like, yeah. And a good thing is, like, if an agency is showing a keyword that they're ranking #1 for as part of a case study, Google that keyword. Like, have a look. Where is that brand? Are they on page 1? Have they dropped off? Again, if they're going separate ways, they probably would have dropped off anyway. But it's always good to double check these things and, don't get kind of bombarded with all these cases, all these case studies, and just think like, yeah, this agency is good. I would say another thing to look out for. So if you're looking to hire an SEO agency, the best way to find the best one is just search for a keyword that agency should be targeting, right? Like, you can't say you sell SEO and you're the best at SEO if you're not seen for your keywords. Like, that doesn't make sense. And saying it's too competitive is not a good enough excuse. Like, you're good at what you do, why you're not ranking? So again, if you're looking for an SEO agency, just search for like eCommerce SEO agency, Shopify SEO agency. Again, I'm not just saying go to the #1 website, like #1, 2, 3, like the top 3 positions I would say are all pretty good at SEO because they're ranking in the top 3 positions, which is where the majority of clicks go. So carry out a search. Don't be contacting the agency on page 10 for SEO because
it doesn't make any sense. Their SEO speaks for themselves, basically.
Exactly. Like, are you really going to hire the guy at the bottom to make you the top?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
No. But also, as you said, don't look only. You can look at positions 1, 2, and 3. I think you also need to see if you resonate with the brand. So that's also an important part, and be really cool.
Yeah, and I would say another part we kind of discussed as well is like, try and look for an agency that doesn't tie you into a long-term contract. Like, SEO does take a long time, so you should have that expectation that's going to take a while. But like, it's good to have freedom to switch things up as well. And don't be stuck in a package as well. I'm giving you so many options here because I hear a lot of these objections when I'm doing discovery calls is you want flexibility. Like, if you add another product collection or some more SKUs in your range, like, you want to know that the agency can take that on board. Yeah. Like, not just like, no, sorry, we agreed to do collection 1, 2, 3. So like, you don't want that. You want a reactive, flexible agency that can grow with you, essentially.
Okay. So that was the last question. And we're looking forward to other questions from you guys that we can answer. Thank you.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.